So 12 political power. Protest the government. They haven't updated it at all, it seems. Yeah, I mean, it's not really working out for us. 10 points. Can I? Okay, 4 more days so you're actually ready to go. I'm silly. So can we do? Yeah, okay, so we can actually now do no justice, no peace. Replace raging riots with mass riots. Is that better or worse? I don't know. Establishment of the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. Officers of Capitol Hill in Seattle, Washington have abandoned the precinct and have reloaded to the nearby Safeway. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and other groups have set up roadblocks in the area and reclaimed the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. Autonomy for the oppressed. We're going to lose more approval. Capitol Hill Autonomy Zone gains a core and becomes an owner. So they actually just, like, own territory? Okay, well, I mean, here they are. The GOP has rejected. In a surprising twist, the GOP has decisively rejected our compromise budget bill. This bill, which was formed as for intense bipartisan negotiations and heralded as a potential fiscal breakthrough, caused contentious provisions aimed at tackling entrenched economic issues. It appears that the controversial measures were a stumbling block that led to the bill's downfall. With tensions mounting and a deadline drawing near, our party is now in a frantic race to regain ground and salvage the situation. Well, I mean, that's good for us, because there's going to be a 20% swing in our favor. Very, very, very happy to see it. Leader of NATO. Modify government. We can still... I mean, I don't think we need to fund the movement anymore. At least right now. What we need is more political power, which we kind of, like, don't have. I mean, this is actually where we maybe want to spend the money. $250 billion? Ah, sure. We'll spend the cash. Let's go. The Richmond police has been disbanded. In a close 53-47 vote, the city of Richmond referendum to disband their police department has narrowly passed. Following the murder of Quinton Evans and subsequent resistance riots across the country, a controversial call to disband the department has risen among the residents of the city. Citing overwhelming corruption in the department, voters have instead opted to replace the police with a new Department of Public Safety, which would likely include law enforcement, 911 responders, and mental health professionals, taking a holistic approach to crime. While the voters have stated the abolition of the department will shift vital resources away from violent policing and towards attacking the roots of crime, such as poverty and mental health, opponents have echoed concerns that violent crime will increase, especially given the dire state of the nation with the coronavirus pandemic. Despite the dissolution of the department, violent protests still rocked the nation in the aftermath of the Quinton Evans murder. While it is too early to see the results of the Richmond experiment, the United States has undoubtedly changed for better or for worse. And then where do I think? I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Probably. We're probably fine. Minus 5%. They got 5 states that they are strongholds in. Where are those states then? Okay. This looks like more than 5 states. I don't know if... oh, possible. Possible. Land of the woke. When I think of woke, I think of... I guess Richmond in Virginia, huh? I don't know why for a second I thought Richmond was in South Carolina. The movement organizes the White House siege. Disturbing reports from the FBI and multiple informants have surfaced today. The movement and its splinter groups have actively organizing for a potential siege of the White House. The development coincides with the approaching election season, with the movement aiming to prevent President Donald J. Trump's re-election as their top priority. They are now strategizing a siege of the White House, scheduled in approximately 50 days, intended to diminish the president's approval ratings. If we do not counter the movement's plans, their siege will likely proceed as scheduled, straining the president's current political efforts. Fantastic. I'm glad that we're going to have we're going to have liberal January 6th. I'm ready. President Joe Biden, the Xi Jinping of the Himalayas. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% too sure what you're referencing. Send some mass to Wisconsin. It doesn't have the real January 6th in it. Well, it's because the Patriots are already in control, so they don't need to do the January 6th, right? Just think. Think for 1 second, Zany. The Patriots are already here. The other option. To most political observers, 2020 has been a year marked with extreme political violence and extremism. Started by the COVID pandemic, the effects of the Saudi oil crash and the American economy, and the resistance movement. Far-left parties such as the Party of Socialism and Liberation, the PSL, have seen exponential growth. Across the political spectrum, a fascist group, known for its striking propaganda and the use of American themes in its advertising, has also seen itself thrust into the limelight. Originally started by Thomas Rousseau after falling out with the white supremacist party Vanguard of America, the Patriot Front has seen its branches pop up across the country. While the culturally left values of the left turn away many rural conservatives, the Patriot Front blames the common struggles for many Americans on immigration, cultural replacement, and liberal values. Because of their classic fascist and or the classical fascist and ultranationalist values, the Patriot Front has faced intense scrutiny and infiltration from federal security agencies, commonly known in extremist circles as glowies, with many such agents attempting to use honeypot operations in order to hinder the operational capacities and the growth of the party. Despite their best efforts, the Patriot Front continues to pose a significant threat to the fundamental value of American representative democracy. Don't be mean to Zany. Well, he's got to use his head a little bit. What is this? Current ruling party is conservative. I mean, they're not wrong. He said in one of his speeches, increasing nationwide strikes. Strikes have shook every sector of the American economy. This year, from nursing to teaching to the industrial labor. Reports from the National Bureau of Labor Statistics have shown that strikes in 2020 have nearly tripled compared to 2019. A phenomenon that has been attributed to the harsh working conditions that many essential workers have had to endure due to labor shortages. For example, nearly 7,000 nurses have gone on strike nationwide to protest long hours and little pay. Strikes among teaching assistants have shook educational institutions, such as the new school in New York and the University of California, demanding higher wages due to the higher price of living. Nonetheless, the massive uptick in nationwide strikes has indicated an anger among the American people with the status quo and the falling standards of living. Fantastic. We love strikes here. Yeah, exactly. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. Trust the Borger. Okay? And then everything will make sense from then on. Okay? Did you look up the origins of the glow term? It sounds like a slur that you would use against ghouls in Fallout. NSM recruits among prison gangs. The infamous neo-Nazi group, the National Socialist Movement, has surprisingly seen an uptick in membership, following the increasingly unstable political environment. Known for their public rallies and protests dressed in Nazi-style uniforms, their membership has previously fallen to around 1 to 2 dozen core members. Despite this, the National Socialist Movement has been seen to be making moves to collaborate with white nationalist prison gangs across the country, with leader Bert Colucci seen making visits to several high-profile gang leaders. While the group remains relatively fringe, it is a sure sign the American political climate is getting more extreme by the day. They're a bunch of LARPers. Okay. You wish Canada had a focus tree? The thing is, though, like, if they don't have a focus tree, I'm assuming that they're just going to kind of chill out. And that is beneficial to me as an individual. Because if Canada doesn't need to get involved in a bunch of silly wars, then maybe they can just ride the wave, baby. They can ride the wave. Let's bring all of our boats to Virginia. Okay, no justice, no peace. Abandon the anarchist or mingle with the movement. We will double the movement's future support, or we'll abandon the anarchist. Yeah, sure, we'll mingle with the anarchists. Why not? Why not? Right next to America. Imagine the Canadian Empire. I'm ready to mingle, baby. I'm ready to mingle. What happens to the chill music? I'm not too sure what the chill music was. The Jewish Defense League. After a massive surge in anti-Semitic attacks, particularly in New York City and the greater New York metropolitan area, the Jewish Defense League has once again become active, forming Jewish self-defense militias throughout the Jewish communities in New York. The JDL militias seem to be especially concentrated in the areas of Kuris Shoal, despite the town being run by the anti-Zionist Satamir Hasik group. The JDL, however, has also organized militia among atheist and liberal Jews in the region, showing that the Jewish community in southern New York is becoming more and more unified. Many in southern New York region have also been taking to protesting against the JDL's actions, and many complaining that they are arming and training violent religious extremists, and asserting that JDL is preparing to commit attacks against Arabs as they did in the past. And only time will tell what the JDL's actions will be next. The trouble on Capitol Hill. After several weeks of lawlessness and standoffish behavior within the autonomous zone of the Capitol Hill of Seattle, it appears that the haphazard experiment in self-governance is nearing its expected end. Community leaders, radical organizers, and other Seattle locals attempting to maintain order and civility have mostly been with a lack of cooperation, both in terms of their political demands and from much of the population within the zone itself. Nearly depleted food supplies, a lack of organization, and an increase in criminal activity within the area has led to the situation becoming untenable for the organizers, with authorities slowly moving in and diminishing the size of the area in recent days due to violent incidences that have occurred more and more frequently. Is the music just randomized? Yeah, it's just it's just the game music is just random. The most recent string of shootings, 2 of them fatal, has marked the beginning of the end for the zone's authority. Members of the Seattle Police Department, in tandem with orders of the mayor and with assistance from the FBI, are now preparing to move into the area and put an end to their short-lived autonomy and restore order, whether those inside plan to go willingly or not. Okay, so let's fortify the elections a little bit more. We have 47 political power. What do we want to do? When is the siege being organized? Be done in 49 days or 47 days. I can read. Take back Capitol Hill. Yeah, sure. Let's take back Capitol Hill. And let's implement some guidelines. I mean, August seems like a good enough time as any to start those. Okay. More COVID cases. How many is there a number that it says? It just says 18 states are being affected, which honestly is quite low. I thought it would be all 50 at this point. We have not stabilized, unfortunately. Oh, and wildfires. Excellent. It's a staple of California, I think. A Southern California couple whose gender reveal party allegedly sparked the deadly El Dorado wildfire in 2020 has been charged with 30 crimes, including involuntary manslaughter, authorities have announced Tuesday. A smoke bomb set off by a couple in Upicia, California on September 5th as part... They did it in the future. We're arresting for crimes they have not even committed yet. As part of their gender reveal, spread the wildfire that went on to burn more than 22,000 acres across 2 counties. San Bernardino County District Attorney Jason Anderson said during a news conference. 1 firefighter was killed while battling the flames, and 2 others were injured, according to Anderson. The fire destroyed several homes and burned more than 22,000 acres. The California fire determined that the cause of the fire was a smoke-generating pyrotechnic device. Excellent. Mass explosion in Beirut. The port of Beirut has erupted in hellfire today as the warehouse packed with ammonium nitrate suddenly exploded, resulting in a detonation, eviscerated the entirety of Beirut's port and surrounding city blocks, resulting in over 218 deaths. I remember that. I remember that Beirut port explosion. I remember it being fucking massive. It was huge. By the way, how are we doing? I mean, I guess I would say, like, not great. Just hold your ground, man. We'll see where this goes in due time. Is there any other wars going on right now? Libya, Somalia. Yemen. The answer's, like, kind of, like, not really. It's actually not that bad, all things considered. Okay, 29 days. Again, approval is still looking good. Massive crackdowns in Belarus. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko has come under intense scrutiny for his recent wave of harsh measures aimed at suppressing liberal protesters and politicians in the country. Since the defeated presidential election in August of 2020, which saw Lukashenko claim victory for the 6th consecutive term, amid allegations of widespread fraud, Belarus has witnessed an unprecedented wave of protests demanding political change and fair elections. Well, I'm sure that'll go well for them. Let's buy some more masks. Let's send some masks to North Carolina. What does this even actually do? It just prevents a pandemic from breaking on that state. Okay, I mean, that seems okay. Explosion at a Freeport chemical plant. A chemical explosion has occurred in the Freeport chemical plant today, as thousands of pounds of toxic chemicals were swept into the air in what has been dubbed the American Chernobyl. With NORAD projecting in the affected area as wide as the state of Texas itself, many have concerns over health risks related to many of the chemicals being incredibly carcinogenic. It is unknown the amount of people that will be affected long term, but estimates are ranging in the tens of thousands. Local residents have shared disturbing pictures of dead crows flying in the street, filling up the streets, and livestock laying dead in their fields. Despite these shocking pictures, authorities have assured locals that only safe to return in only a mere 76 hours after the incident. With the smoke of the explosion being visible from even commercial airliners, radical environmentalists have used the situation to protest the lackluster environmental regulations applied to companies such as Dow Chemical. Criticism that have been received widespread support throughout the United States, but particularly in the Northeast, with a handful of reports of pseudo-guerrilla warfare between environmental extremists and local police forces. Meanwhile, the Trump administration has tried its best to distance itself from the accident, releasing statements condemning Dow Chemical and the Texas state government for its mishandling of the situation, and part of the sent in National Guard troops to help with the cleanup. Fantastic. Fantastic. We do not need to bomb Iran, okay? Not yet. Maybe a different time, but not right now. Not right now. We can bomb Iran later. Okay, so yeah, it does seem like this is permanent. So I mean, that's nice. Like 250 is not like a crazy number. Music COVID debuffs. Hey, military coup in Mali. On Tuesday, Mali plunged into political turmoil as military forces toppled President Ibrahim Boubacar's Keïta in a coup that followed months of escalating protests and public discontent. Okay. And Biden has secured the Democratic nomination. As our hard-fought primary, Joseph R. Brand has officially secured the 1,991 delegates needed and would win the battle for the soul of the nation. Mr. Biden, who served as Barack Obama's vice president, began the primary campaign in a faltering style in Iowa and New Hampshire, but came back with a convincing victory in South Carolina. Super Tuesday was more contentious, as many states swung in favor of progressive candidate Bernie Sanders. Mr. Biden said, "It's an honor to compete alongside one of the most talented group of candidates the Democratic Party has ever fielded, and I am truly proud to say that we will be going into this general election a united party." Rumors of voter suppression, as well as backdoor corruption, circle his victory, but the Biden campaign has denied these rumors, much to the displeasure of the Sanders campaign. Okay. Let's send some... We'll go to Nevada. We'll send them some masks as well. The shell is called the coup belt by some because all the coups occurring in that region the past few years. There was one recently in... Was it Burkina Faso? I might be wrong on that. Resource gain. We're basically already we're fine. We'll research these anyways. Shinzo Abe has resigned. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has announced to the ruling bloc his decision to resign. Shinzo Abe has a chronic inflammation of the mucous membrane, the colon. The condition has caused his resignation in 2007, but he's since been stabilized in 2012. Was elected Prime Minister once again. Okay. Well, hopefully nobody brings any kind of contraptions near him. He should have a long and healthy life. Okay, Ethiopia is at war. Nothing that we should care too much about it. Next, national lockdowns. Let's go with the Flames of the Future. Replace Alliance of the Movement with Embrace the Movement. No, not a band. No, click this one. Thank you. The rise in African identity. With the resistance in full swing and protests against police brutality rocketing the nation, a new radical ideology has once again gripped the African American population, especially in the Deep South. Faced with violent suppression of protests, groups such as the NAFAC, the New Black Panther Party, the African People's Socialist Party, and the Nation of Islam have formed a united paramilitary known as the Black Liberation Army. Named after the Black Power organization that existed in the 70s and 80s. Despite their ideological diversity, their shared value in black nationalism and unprecedented instability has allowed the organization to operate with surprising efficiency. In an unprecedented display of unity, newly formed BLA paramilitaries marched down the streets of Jacksonville, Mississippi, chanting slogans of black nationalism and separatism. Drawing inspirations from figures such as Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey, the BLA have seen an unprecedented growth in membership. with African Americans being increasingly disillusioned with the ability of the United States to guarantee their rights and safety. The BLA is immensely popular among the youth. Newly joined BLA members receive extensive paramilitary training in basic firearms practice and protest tactics, which afterwards they're organized into a section of a local chapter. Over the past few months, reports of terrorism done by the BLA has reached unthought of heights, and the BLA has carried out a series of bombings, shootings, robberies, and prison breaks, all of which have severely worsened tensions with the already fragile South. Clashing with members of the neo-Confederate paramilitary group, the League of the South, it seems that the clouds of ethnic conflict are brewing in the South. Okay. The revolution will not be televised. More support for socialism and fascism. Okay. What can we do with you? Prolong impeachment. So it's like we take a 5% for this to go slower every single time. Ah, sure, fuck it. We'll press it. We'll try at least once. I think I do remember that photo, actually, now that you mention it. Suburban radicalism. Amid a wave of rioting during the movement protest in nearby cities such as New York and Boston, has led many of the Northwest to turn for the Patriot Front for protection. In particular, amid reports of looting and arson, small business owners have turned to the Patriot Front for assistance in protecting their shops, leading to a clash between movement protesters and Patriot Front members in suburbia. Despite a long-running liberal and democratic nature of the Northeast, it seems these riots have radicalized many to the far right. A worrying trend of violence descends upon the entire country. Sorry for being annoying about the Temple OS guy. That's okay. You're enthusiastic. Well, I mean, we'll go for the Western Doctrine, because, I mean, we are NATO, so I think it makes sense. We have 14 days until, I'm guessing, the siege happens. If the movement has 10 or more stronghold states, the siege will be launched. Okay, so actually it's not going to be launched. I guess maybe we didn't fund the movement enough. My bad. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. Okay, wildfires continue to ravage West Coast as death toll soar. Salem, Oregon. Wildfire smoke has posed a health hazard to millions of choked. Wildfire smoke that posed a health hazard to millions choked the West Coast on Saturday as firefighters battled deadly blazes that obliterated some towns and displaced tens of thousands of people. The latest in a series of calamities this year. For people already enduring the coronavirus pandemic, the result of economic fallout and political tensions evident in resistant protest and far-right counter-protest, the fires have added a new layer of misery. What's next? You have the protests, coronavirus pandemic, now wildfires. What else can go wrong? Laminated Daniel Oliver, 40, of Happy Valley, southeast of Portland. Oh, okay. Okay. I see. Death toll of the fires in California, Oregon, and Washington soared to 31 and are expected to rise sharply. Most of the fatalities were in California and Oregon, and 500,000 Oregonians were under evacuation warnings or orders to leave. With air contamination levels at historic highs, people stuffed towels under doors to keep the smoke out. Some people wore N95 masks in their own homes, and some communities resembled the bombed-out cities of Europe after World War II, with buildings reduced to charred rubble piled atop blackened earth. Residents either managed to flee as the flames closed in or perished. We're at negative 2% stability, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very happy to see it. Okay. Confederate sympathizers skyrocket. So I think this will probably be our last event because, I mean, it is Sunday night. But I promise right now, and I will keep this promise, no matter what, we will at least stream an hour and a half for the next 2 weeks before I go on vacation. That is a promise, and don't let me forget it, okay? Probably around the same time, probably around 9 p.m. But we'll see exactly the time. But at least an hour and a half, if not longer. That's my promise right now. It's my commitment to you. Confederate sympathizers skyrocket. With intense riots and instability shaking the Black Belt, an intense reaction has emerged from ever more radicalized conservatives within the South. If one drives through Dixie, the sight of Confederate flags is not a rare sight, despite their loss in the Civil War over 100 years ago. I mean, I like how you say 100 years ago. Like, 100 years ago is like 19... 20 a day. Yeah, we're gonna do. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna want to stream every single day. Until I go on vacation in 2 weeks. The emergence of black nationalist paramilitaries participating in the resistance protests have led to the League of the South to be thrust into the limelight as a counterbalance. For every black liberation rally, there's a League rally nearby, with their support base concentrated in Arkansas. Several local politicians have either pledged their loyalty to the group, with a deep conviction to restore the Southern identity and preserve traditional Southern values. Many moderates have called them extremist, yet despite their label, their membership has only continued to rise. Over the past few months, the LOS has concentrated their forces in Arkansas, with their leader, Michael Hill, giving several fiery speeches denouncing the federal government and its Yankee imperialist policies. Thousands of young Southerners have joined its ranks, and many suspecting that if the United States were to break down, the organization would have enough institutional support to control the entire state of Arkansas. Despite calls from coastal liberals for a federal crackdown on the hate group, the polarized and paralyzed FBI and NSA can do little but watch as the extremism engulfs another part of the nation. Okay, so right now, like, the fascists are actually the biggest party in the country, which is probably like not a great sign, all things considered. By the way, how's everything else going? How's Libya doing? Horribly. I would like to recall my volunteers. Thank you. I want to get the hell out of Libya. But I will say, at least for right now, it's going to be a good time to end this stream.